Welcome back, y'all, to AP World History. This is Unit 2, Day 2 with Mr. Leveridge. Please make sure that you're following along with your notes and that you're completing the vocabulary, which should be on the next slide and down in the description. So let's go ahead and get started for today. So our key terms for today are going to be the Treaty of Westphalia, the Constitutional Monarchy, Absolutism, Charles V, Louis XIV, Mercantilism, the War of the Roses, Prussia, and the Divine Right of Kings. Our key concepts for today are going to be the political developments in Western Europe during the early modern period. So, states really begin to pop up during this time. Now, a state is a country. And so, with the development of, after all these religious wars and all these kind of people starting to really become kind of very nationalistic with their country of origin, this really begins to kind of pop up what we consider today as modern day countries. Now, this kind of really starts off with the Treaty of Westphalia, which is going to end the 30-year war and allow the king of a certain country to decide the religion of that state or country or territory. At the same time, Italian city-states begin to flourish with industries and trade, really forming what will be known as Italy. France and England, of course, they're fighting in their 100 Years' War. But now really people are considering themselves French. People are considering themselves England. English War of the Roses, which is a civil war to determine who would be next in line for the monarchy, leads to the Tudor dynasty. At the same time, Spain will become united and become a true Spain. They also have competition among European states and dynastic policies. This is truly, oh, my daughter is going to marry your prince so that we can be alliance together because you can't fight family because that's mean and that's wrong and that'll cause more issues. So, and it also kind of interweaves all of these European monarchs' families together. So much so that by the 20th century, when we get to World War I, all of the leaders are pretty much related in some way in Europe. So, Charles V of Spain, right? He's going to attempt a revival of the Holy Roman Empire. He's going to reign from 1519 to 1556. He's going to be the Holy Roman Empire, and the Holy Roman Emperor, and he's going to kind of control the Spanish-American Empire and the Philippines. He's going to inherit vast empires, vast land grants through marriage. But Charles V is unable to kind of establish a true unified state yet. But he's working toward it, and he does lay the groundwork for a united Spain. But he's going to have disputes with German nobles, France, and the Ottoman Empire, which kind of keep him from creating a unified Spain. But in the same vein, he does lay the groundwork for Spain to become kind of whole. Now, there is a Spain, but it's really a kind of offshoot of the Holy Roman Empire, kind of founded in the wake of the Protestant Reformation and things. So let's talk about constitutional and absolute monarchies. Constitute monarchies, these are going to be the England and the Netherlands. These are going to be characterized by powers being limited by constitutions, Bill of Rights, and conventions. Basically meaning, yes, there is a king, and he is the king of England, but he's got some pretty severe limitations, and he can't treat people like garbage. I really can't treat the nobility like garbage, but it's, hey, he doesn't have absolute control, and that's it. Constitutional monarchy, they do not have absolute control. They are checked and balanced by a parliament, and they have a Bill of Rights, and the biggest one for England is going to be the Magna Carta and the English Bill of Rights, which are really going to check the power of the king. Normally, constitutional monarchies have a predominant merchant class, which kind of really is the kind of basis for capitalism is going to start to appear at this time. Now, in other places, such as in the Netherlands and the Dutch, they're going to have a constitutional monarchy evolve out of religious conflict, where the two separate kings have too much power, and they start wars that have no meaning, or they're just religious wars. So they really kind of push themselves to create a constitutional monarchy. On the opposite side of a constitutional monarchy, we have absolutism. And absolutism really is going to be predominant in France, Spain, Austria, Prussia. And this is based off the theory of the divine right of kings, which is very similar to the Chinese mandate of heaven. And the divine right of kings is the exact same thing as the mandate of heaven, where God, the Christian God, or whatever God they're following, says that, hey, he's king, he is, whatever he says is the word of God. Well, when you tie your government to your religion and everyone follows your religion because the king dictates your religion because of the Treaty of Westphalia, well, it's one of those where the people follow you, because if you don't, they're going against their God, which isn't a positive thing. Now, in absolutism, if this is going to be, they're going to rely on mercantilism to generate taxable wealth, and this is mercantilism where they get raw materials from the colonies, and they have a mother country, and they gather all of this wealth and materials and trade with their baby colonies. And they're also going to rely on bureaucrats to run their governments. Now, for Prussia began to arise in the late 17th century, and they're also going to be an extremely powerful military absolute monarchy. So much so that by the end, Prussia will become Germany. That's why we're mentioning it now, in the late 1800s. Of course, kind of the peak of absolutism is going to be Louis XIV, the King of France. He is called the Sun King, and he's going to reign from 1643 to 1715. He's the model of absolutism. He has his court in the Palace of Versailles. He has a large professional standing army. He's going to be full in favor of mercantilism and colonies. Colonies support the mother country. Wealth of a country is based in metals of gold and silver. So when you have a colony that suddenly has tons of gold and silver, hey, that means your country is super rich. We're going to see this kind of mercantilism really kind of flourish with Spain, where Spain gets so much silver that it devalues the price of silver. But we'll get to that later. So that's what we're going to end for today. Be sure that you are following along with your notes, and that you are completing the vocabulary, which is at the beginning of this video, and down in the description as always. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in class.